right, everybody, we're back with a brand new Cabral HouseCall. First of the weekend, just opening up the amazing Ask Cabral document that the team puts together each and every week. And I am now at that spot where we're going to answer all of those wellness, weight loss, weight gain, anti-aging, high performance, health-based questions. As always, I just want to thank you for being a part of this community. I mean, literally, my favorite thing to be able to do is to connect with our community, doing the podcast each and every day, but especially these weekend host calls, because I feel like obviously these are real people writing in real questions. And if I can play some small part to be able to reach out and to share what I've learned over the last 25 years, I want to do that. So let's get started. Mike is up first. Mike says, Doc, by the time you read this, I will have completed the big five. Can you simplify food combinations of how to eat? Don't eat this with that. I like to keep things simple. I think people overthink and complicate everything when it comes to health. Eat the colors of the rainbow at every single meal. Thanks for keeping it simple for meatheads like me who just want to live a happy, healthy life and perform at our best. Yeah, Mike, I'm the same way. Like, truthfully, like I do all the research, I do all the study, and I love it. Like, I mean, I really geek out over science. I always have. Like, I've always loved science. Like, that's the truth. Is like, this for me was no big deal. And that's because I read all the time on science and nutrition and exercise physiology science. So anyway, but I agree. So like, okay, you did the big five. If you found you had gut issues, you're going to be put on the CBO protocol to rebalance your digestive issues. Okay. And then you get a separate sheet, but basically think of it like this, because that sheet's going to give you specific foods. All you need to think about is lunch and dinner. If you want to do a smoothie at your breakfast meal, it's super simple because you're just going to mix in a couple cups of berries and your favorite protein powder. We use daily nutritional support because it's also your full multivitamins, 12 supplements in one. It's the cheapest and best way to get everything you need. But now you're really focused then on lunch and dinner. Now, again, you might have a mid-afternoon snack, depending on who you are, pre-workout shake, whatever. But let's just talk about lunch and dinner. All you need to think about is this. What is my protein for the meal? That's it. So like, what's my protein for the meal? Am I staying plant-based for this meal? Okay, then it's easy. So you're going to choose a bean and you're going to have like a cup of beans, a half a cup, maybe just starting out. Hummus, chickpeas, cannellini beans, black beans, what else? Lentils, dal, etc. So simple. All right. So we choose a protein at that meal. Now, we want to choose vegetables, 2 to 3 cups. What vegetables to choose? Whatever you like. Like, honestly, whatever you like. Brightly colored. If you can get cruciferous veggies in there, even better, because they're just worth more in terms of sulforaphane, detoxification, good fiber, all those great things. All right. Now, next, what do we need to do? Add a healthy fat. What's your healthy fat? Again, let's keep it simple. Olive oil or avocado. So olive oil or a half an avocado or a full avocado. Again, just depending on your, like how many grams of fat you're getting for the day. So we pick a protein, turkey, chicken, eggs, whatever, to meet your macro. Then we pick our veggies and then we pick our fat. That's all we need. Now, if you're someone who needs to keep more weight on, you add a starch. Now, here's the interesting thing though. If you're doing a cup of beans though, you're getting like 50 grams of carbs. So you don't need to add more starch typically for that meal, right? But let's say you're doing chicken or salmon or something like that at that meal. What can you do if you want 50 grams of carbs at that meal? 1 cup of wild rice, or it could be a sweet potato, Japanese yam, anything like that. So you've got your protein, you've got your veggies and your fat at every meal. And then you just add a starch based on if you want more of that energy-based food, that starchy carbohydrate. So that's literally how to do it. And then just rotate your veggies to get all the different colors of a rainbow. You're already going to get all the colors of a rainbow by doing your berries at your breakfast. And so it's super simple. Like that's basically how I eat. Like that's how I eat. And then on my workout days, for me, because it really helps my overall performance and recovery, mainly recovery, I do a shake during my workout as well. But that's for me. And so I get more berries, so I get more antioxidants. I keep it really simple. I talk about all of it in high performance health. But yeah, if you want to get that in depth, you can. If not, that was your answer. All right. Thanks, Mike. Great question. Marianne's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I struggle with bouts of severe fatigue that is accompanied by pain and aches in my lower right back. It starts with a lower back pain a day or two in advance, and the fatigue then begins with me struggling to wake in the morning like I'm trying to come out of anesthesia. The fatigue can last for a day or a week. I've had an X-ray and MRI for the back pain, which has not shown any issues. All my routine blood work is within normal ranges. I have Hashimoto's, I take Synthroid daily, and I'm celiac. On strict gluten-free plan for 15 years. I don't drink alcohol or caffeine. I strength train 4 times a week. I walk 4 miles daily. I take vitamin D and calcium. Doctors, specialists have no answers. Any insight into this is much appreciated. Sure. So again, I don't have any of your lab work in front of me. The first thing is going through my mind is that there's a kidney issue, but you ran blood work and you said that there wasn't. What you could do though is run a simple urine dipstick analysis. You can get them on Amazon, get them anywhere. Just literally urine dipstick analysis. It's usually a 12 or 13 point, and you want to be able to look for protein in the urine, and you want to be able to look for leukocytes. Could have a urinary tract infection. That's a really good reason for lower back pain and fatigue. So it could be as easy as that. It could be menstrual-based pain, but that wouldn't make sense if it wasn't 7 days or so before your cycle started. So probably not that, or when your cycle started, because if it can come anytime, then that's probably not what it has to do with. You did the MRI, you did the X-ray, which is great. So ruling out any tumors or even fatty lipomas that might be there causing pain. My other recommendation is to go see a good integrative chiropractor, not just someone that does adjustments, not that I'm against that, but someone that actually looks at your body, looks if there's any biomechanical deviation. The pain you can look at, but the fatigue part doesn't make sense unless it's really wearing on your central nervous system. And the other thing is that, again, this is what we do. All of our clients run the Big 5 labs. So if you haven't run your Big 5 labs, I can't recommend that enough. You can find those at stevencabral.com/big and then the number 5. All right. Milan is up next. Hello, Dr. Cabral. I'm an IHP and would like to ask your opinion about tiny bruises under the skin. My client keeps on developing those and we can't figure out the reason. She's had some yeast and parasite issues that we solved already. Estrogen dominance that we're working on right now. Omega-3 to omega-6 ratio is 4:1. No issues on CBC. She's following a paleo diet and lives very clean. Aside from her estrogen dominance supplements, she also takes B, 1 gram of vitamin C, zinc, omega-3s, probiotics, and vitamin D and K2. What could be the reason for her bruising? Am I missing something? Yeah, that's a great question. So when I think about bruising, immediately I look at 2 things. 1, some form of anemia. So we're looking at low copper, low zinc, low vitamin C, low B vitamins, or low iron. So you didn't say low iron. The most common cause for bruising, low iron. So she should run, I know you said she had a normal complete blood count, but the iron's not run on that. So run her ferritin levels, her iron saturation rate, and her total iron binding capacity. A full iron panel is best. And I have a whole podcast on that if you want to go to stevencabral.com/podcast. All right. So let's make sure iron levels are high enough. And then besides that, it would be not enough protein, not enough vitamin C, not enough zinc. And then the last would be her blood is too thin. So is she also doing cayenne pepper, too much omega-3s, although her ratio seems fine at 4:1. So just make sure she's not taking more than 2 to 3 grams of omega-3s. And everything else looks pretty solid. So that's where I would go next. All right. Great question, Milan. All right, Mike's up. Mike says, Dr. Cabral, I have a question regarding poor wound healing and frequent muscle injuries. I'm 44 years old, ectomorph, 5'10", 160, 10% body fat. I eat smoothies with collagen, goat whey, berries, pears, apples, coconut milk for breakfast, vegetarian lunch with chickpeas, potatoes, vegetables, olive oil, hemp, dinner with rice, vegetables, animal protein, olive oil. I exercise 6 days per week for 45 minutes, 2 strength training, 2 cardio, and 2 yoga. According to my calculation, I get about 120 grams of protein, 100 grams of fat, 250 carbs, and overall about 7 servings of fruit and veggies on a daily basis for about 2,400 calories. Could frequent injuries and poor wound healing be due to insufficient calories for my body type and energy expenditure? By the way, my omega-6 to omega-3 ratio is 3:1 without supplementation. It's amazing. It's amazing. So first of all, your nutrition looks on point. Your exercise, especially for a Vata body type, looks right on point. Your nutrition looks fantastic, and same with your macros. I don't see anything wrong with that. Again, like I don't have any of your labs in front of me. So I have to give you my disclaimer. I can't provide any medical advice, medical treatment plans, medical cures, medical diagnosis for anyone who writes in with a question. So I need to look outside of the diet and exercise because you're like a model client, right? Like, I mean, you're doing all of the right things. Your omega-6 to omega-3 ratio is right where it should be. Amazing, right? So here's other reasons, because poor wound healing is absolutely a sign that something's off with the body, and frequent muscle injuries. It definitely shows a more catabolic nature, but there could be something much deeper going on. So there could be something called, and again, no diagnosis, peripheral vascular disease, or something to do with poor circulation. It's one of the reasons why people can have poor wound healing. So you would go to a vascular specialist to make sure that your body's getting enough oxygen transport. So what would that be? Again, making sure that you're getting enough omega-3s, zinc, vitamin D3 with K2. What else? Vitamin C, and then iron. But men don't typically want to iron, and same for postmenopausal women. And the reason is that you can build up too much iron. So you'd want to run your iron levels first. So run your blood work, look at your iron levels, look at all your blood work, make sure everything's good. And also, it's funny because I don't usually give the same recommendations for like the same people in the show, but do a urine dipstick as well. Make sure that there's no protein coming out in your urine as well, which is really a sign of a catabolic deficiency. So nutritional deficiencies, poor circulation, protein in the urine, diabetes. I'm assuming you don't have diabetes, but that can be an issue as well. Smoking, hopefully you don't smoke, but smoking could be a reason as well. And then any type of immune-based dysfunction, which is not allowing for proper healing, could be one of the other issues. And then there's certain medications, which is outside of really my scope of practice, but a few of those would be like steroidal-based drugs and potentially certain allergy-based medications. All right, so that's what I would look at. Hopefully that is helpful, Mike, to lead you in the right direction. Let's get in one more question today. It's from Olive. Olive says, "Hi, Dr. C. I'm an IHP2 mastery. My question is about adding probiotics to my daily routine and how much is too much. I take a 12 billion multi-strain probiotic. I'm also exploring a mental wellness blend that claims to optimize your gut-brain axis with synergistic combo of clinically validated probiotics, prebiotics, and phytobiotics to increase the production of your feel-good neurotransmitters. It has lactobacillus, bifidobacterium, lactobacillus R0011 for gut health for a total of 65 milligrams. Also prebiotic mix, L-glutamine, L-theanine, and more fruit extracts." Well, anyway, I'll get to that in a second. "Will this blend add too much bacteria to my gut? What are your thoughts on the effectiveness of this helping mental wellness by supporting the gut-brain axis? Thank you." Okay, so yeah, could potentially help, but also you're taking in prebiotics, which you can just get from fruits and veggies. So like, I don't believe that people need to spend money on prebiotics. I just really don't. Like, you just get those on your own. Like, eat 30 to 50 grams of fiber a day. 50 is way too much for some people because they haven't started at 30 yet, right? So like, just work your way up slowly, but that'll feed all the good gut bacteria. All right. Now it's adding L-glutamine, which when we look at that, precursor to potentially GABA, okay? So like, yeah, just the L-glutamine alone could be beneficial. And then there's also I don't know, I think that's supposed to say theanine, which is a great precursor to neurotransmitters as well. So it's like, is the probiotic doing what it's supposed to? Or is the glutamine and L-theanine doing what it's doing? Because those actually increase neurotransmitters. So that's a little dubious. Now, it very well could have the effect that you're looking for, but how much is too much? It's honestly, probiotics are really an individual based nutritional supplement. Where foundational, most people need 2 to 3 grams of omega-3s per day. Yeah, that's foundational. Most people need at least 15 grams of zinc and 1 gram of copper per day. That's foundational. That's minimum, right? With probiotics, there's no minimum and there's no real maximum. What I've seen in my practice, between 10 billion to 100 billion per day. That's about the sweet spot for most people. We have most people come in around 50 billion per day. When you think about it, you've got trillions of bacteria in the gut. You're not looking to completely alter it. All you're looking to do is to be able to sway it in a more positive direction. And then in some of these different marketed probiotics could be beneficial. Start slow, see if there's a reaction, positive or negative, and then work your way up. That would be my recommendation. All right, Olive, thanks so much for writing in, and we appreciate you being a part of the IHP community as well. Amazing work. All right, thanks everybody. I appreciate you. Thank you, and I'll be back tomorrow with a brand new Cabral HouseCall. Take care. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.